class, begin. Mamangha sa lalim at ganda ng ating kultura at diwang makabayan, sa mga salita at pahina. Sa tulong ng mga guro at manunulat ng panitikang Pilipino, halina tuklasin ang yaman ng ating panitikan, ang pamana ng ating lahi. Kasama ang kagawaran ng Filipino ng Pamantasang Ateneo de Manila. Ito ang Sari-Sari, ang pinakamagaling na palatuntunang pang-edukasyon sa 2022 Catholic Mass Media Awards sa bago nitong oras. Martes, ika-4 ng hapon, dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Oh! Ateneo! Fight! Ateneo! Fight! Ready! 1, 2, fight A! Fight D! Fight E! Fight S! Fight E! Fight go! Fight blue and white! The blue and white will go and fight! Fight sis! Boom ba! Boom ra 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 ra! Boom ra 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 ra! Boom ra 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 ra! Fight A! Fight D! Fight E! Fight S! Fight E! Fight go!
Checking out the latest happenings in, around, and beyond Katipunan. This is the Katipunan Roundup.
Hey Katipuneros! Ateneo Hinimoto invites you to its iconic annual summer event, Natsumatsuri 2024. On April 5, enjoy the night and create lasting memories with your friends and loved ones. Exciting performances, delicious food, and fun games with lots of prizes await you at Bellarmine Field. What's more, this year's Natsumatsuri is free admission and open to the general public. Natsumatsuri 2024, this April 5, Friday, from 6 to 11 p.m. at the Bellarmine Field, Ateneo de Manila University. Admission is free and open to the general public. For outsiders, remember to bring a valid ID to enter campus grounds. For more details, visit Ateneo Hinimoto's social media accounts at facebook.com/ateneo.hino, at Ateneo Hinimoto on X, and at ateneo.hinimoto on Instagram. Natsumatsuri 2024 is co-presented by Mr. Ito and Takanami, with major sponsor Uno Overseas Placement Incorporated and media partners RKDMac.com, Embassy of Japan in the Philippines, and Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan. Sa Vlog Blue Eagle kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan. 87.9 FM. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, 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 Radyo, 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 Kati Welcome to RK Sports, where we take you right into the action with the highlights, insights, and analysis of the sports scene in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. With your hosts, Anthony Perez and Mookie Borja. Katipunan. Game on.
Yeah, there we go. All right, what is up, Blue Eagle Nation? This is Anthony bringing you another exciting edition of Radyo Katipunan Sports. We are live via RK on Facebook, on YouTube. And joining me is the young fella, as always, Mookie B. Happy Easter, Mookie. Welcome back to our
Happy Easter.
to our friends and followers of the show. Pero Mookie, this episode ain't for casuals because we got a true blue hooper joining us this afternoon. One of the rising stars in the PBA, a freshly minted all-star from the Terra Firma Jeep, and of course, my Ateneo High School class of 2009 batchmate, Wami Tiongson. Wami, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Super fun having you around.
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me. Sorry I couldn't be in the studio. You know how the traffic gets in Katipunan, but I'm happy to be here and hopefully we could when I get to visit Ateneo, we could do it again.
Oh nga naman. Always, like we would absolutely love that. That would be a killer of an episode. Pero Wami, no, so more and more fans are starting to take notice of your excellent numbers right now in the pros, no? Like, Mook, I did my research, no? Wami is actually the league leader in free throw percentage at 97%. 97%. You are actually... Wami is fourth in scoring in the league right now amongst locals with 21.6 PPG. But here's the thing. My fondest memory of Wami is just... It's not... It's the seniors level sa UAP, not even in the PBA. But it's actually during high school intrams. Bakit? Itong si Wami parang kilabot to ng intrams because pag nandun ka, di ba Wami, you're just playing like super free, unrestricted, walang mga utos ni Coach Jamike, di ba? I know you're hooping for a living right now, pero how much do you miss yung you're just playing ball for pure fun lang?
Man, that's why every break I get, I always try to play pickup games here in my village. Play guys like my cousins, guys I grew up with. Kasi parang it's still fun for me, you know. Basta wag lang ako ma-injure. And to be honest, like I'm a very competitive guy, so even in pickup games I take it seriously. I trash talk too.
ang idol nitong si Wami, of course, it's always Bean Bryant. So, 'di ba? And Kobe always said happiness is just you, a ball and a hoop. That's all you need, 'di ba?
Yeah,
and
it's all you need.
Like hoopers can understand that, 'di ba? Yeah. No crowds, no coaches, just you and a ball and a basket. Pero Mook, let's first congratulate again Wami for
Congratulations.
making the all-star team, 'di ba? And Mookie,
So much.
he was actually snubbed last year.
He was. I was doing research for this episode, and can I just say, I've just been a fan of you since you were in high school. I was like grade 3 when I started watching high school basketball here at Ateneo.
You're only in grade 3?
Yeah, I was only in grade 3.
Bata to, Mookie. Bata tong si Mookie.
naman, parang ginawa mo matanda na. Parang ginawa mo ko si
Sorry, di naman.
LA,
Rising star ka pa lang sa PBA. But yeah, so talking to you now, like I was also a point guard growing up, so watching you was one of the things I tried to emulate, like how you drove, how you just moved. Sobrang swabe mo gumalaw, like yeah. So yeah, anyway, so like you weren't an all-star last year, but clearly deserving. I think you were already scoring 20 points per game last season. So what was it like, you know, finally getting that recognition from the PBA this year and from the fans?
Honestly, it means a lot. I mean, to be recognized as an all-star, fans voting for me repeatedly, it really meant a lot. Last year I really wanted to be an all-star, like as much like I prayed for it. I even voted for myself because I just wanted the experience. I wanted to have that bond with players who I go up against. I just wanted to know their routine, wanted to get to know them, pick their brain a little bit, and you know, always in God's time. And this year was what's God's plans for me.
Yeah, definitely. Pero Wami, no, before we go to the recent All-Star game in Bacolod, no, parang nagiging sobrang special yata ng mga All-Star weekend para sa'yo in back-to-back years. Because last year, you made it to the finals of the three-point shootout. You only lost to the eventual champ, of course, Lethal Weapon, Paul Lee.
Yeah, for
Pero winner ka pa rin. Kasi last year's All-Star edition, you had the opportunity to bond with your childhood yaya in Iloilo.
Yeah.
Diba? So, how special was that reconnecting with si Yaya Nini ba? Diba?
Yeah, Nini. Yeah. Man, it like I was really surprised. I wasn't expecting her to be there. I didn't even know she was from there. Parang we were just hanging out with the kids kasi we were doing a basketball clinic. And then one of the PBA people just came up to me and asked me if I knew Yaya Nini, and I was like, yeah, I remember her. I was still in grade school when she took care of me, so I was so happy to see her. I was so happy also for her that she got to experience the All-Star she was able to watch alongside her kids.
Wow, amazing experience. Pero Mok, let's go now to the the main event, the PBA All-Star game in Bacolod this 2024. Here's my hot take, Wami. Listen into this. After the Berto Bolic 5-point play that just went viral, I have to admit this. The PBA All-Star game in 2024 was much more entertaining than the 300-point
Yeah, no, it really was.
slugfest that we had in the NBA. Like, that's my hot take. The
Yeah.
PBA All-Star game was much more entertaining than the NBA All-Star game. Do you agree, Mookie?
I agree, no, because I think the PBA players just have more fun, but at the same time, you guys still compete. Like, hindi nawawala yung competitiveness nyo. It's like, I'm pretty sure it gets elevated pa. Because, like, yun nga, you're going up against, the best players in the league. You're Robert Bolick, you're CJ Perez. So you're trying to show them what you have and why you belong there. Also, why you were playing in Bacolod in the first place. So, yeah, no, it was really better than the NBA All-Star game this year.
And Wami had the front row seat to that. Kasi, diba, Wami, take us through it. No? So, it was an inbounds pass from the baseline. Diba?
Uh-huh.
And then I think it was Hodge who stole that inbounds pass. Tapos parang nagka-scramble. And then Bolek just ended up with the ball.
Yeah.
Drilled it from, like, I don't know, 30 feet or so? Diba?
I don't know, close to the half court
Yeah,
for sure.
almost the half court.
Like, pero nung nakikita mo yun, like, witnessing firsthand na nangyayari just a few feet from you, like, how was that?
Man, it felt great. Like, I knew Bolick was different. Kasi before the game, him and I would always have the conversation. Hey, because I call him Berto. Berto, manalo tayo ngayon, let's compete.
Yeah.
Like, cause he like, I know how competitive he gets. He's a different kind of player. The way when I play against him, I always have fun. I always enjoy competing against him because ayaw niya talaga magpatalo. Whatever it is, ayaw niya magpatalo. And that's who he is. That's who he is. And I wasn't really surprised he made the shot.
Galing, no? Like,
Yeah.
Mookie, it's just refreshing to see, like, an all-star game that meant something.
Yeah.
Diba? Like,
No, because like, yun nga, like the competitiveness kasi, and obviously these guys know each other, and as much as they want to, have fun, just laugh about it, it's also like you want to put on a show for the people in Bacolod because, the PBA have games, across the Philippines, but only not all the time. So when they have a special event like that there, of course, the players have to give back to the people who are watching and also the people like tuning in on TV and streaming.
Like, did you guys talk about that behind the scenes? Na parang, uy, di ba? Parang nasa Bacolod tayo, ang warm ng reception ng local people sa atin dito. Why not give them something to cheer about? Di ba? Give them something to root for.
Honestly, coming into the game, everyone was locked in. Everyone was focused. We all wanted to win. We didn't just go there to compete. We literally wanted to win, whether it was the actual game and the dance competition. So we took both seriously talaga.
Pero ano yung mas nangingibabaw? Yung dancing o yung game?
Parang mas kinabahan pa ako sa dancing kaysa sa laro eh.
Anyways, pero so before let's time travel back a bit dito, no. So before the PBA, before the All-Star selection, let's go back to Wami your playing days for, of course, the blue and white, because we're here in Radyo Katipunan, no. And for the first 3 years of your seniors career, you had to earn your playing time and, diba? And literally earn your stripes under Coach
Yeah.
Norman. And pero what did that teach you about staying patient, embracing the process, and earning your spot?
Just like what you said, I literally had to wait for my turn, and I just had to be patient. I had to work on my game. I knew mentally and physically I wasn't ready to compete yet against those guys. Parang kasi coming into games, I was always anxious. I was always nervous. I would always second guess myself. And like I said, it's always God's time. And in my 4th year, parang I learned a lot from Eman. I learned a lot from Jai Reyes. And I'm very thankful for that opportunity, even through the bad times. Kasi it made me the player who I am right now. Kasi I mean, if you think about it, if I literally got everything at the start pa lang, and then yung PBA career ko, kasi as we all know, it basically the same as my college career. It didn't start off well. So I would have lost patience. I would have gave up easily. So I guess like it's all God. Honestly, it's all God. He groomed me to be the player I am now.
Yeah, faith and perseverance talaga.
For sure.
It also really helped that, you had to wait your turn. But, during practice, araw-araw mong, bantay sina like Eric Salamat, Eman Monfort, as you said. So you get to, pick these guys' brain, how to play in Coach Norman's system. And that eventually helped you because, you maintained, when you eventually started for Coach Norman, you parang picked up whatever they were doing because you guys were still consistent. You guys won continuously pa rin. So
Yes.
that was really from like an outsider's perspective, just watching you guys, like it was really like a rite of passage talaga of like point guards, of just like you have to wait your turn, you have to watch the seniors learn how to play, and then once you get your chance, then you'll do well. And you did really well, just
Thank you.
yeah. So
Thanks to those guys who came before me, syempre. They honestly, when I started playing in my 4th year, Eman and Jai were always in my ears, always giving me advice on how to on what Coach Norman wants as the point guard, as his point guard.
Right. Parang, so, Eman Monfort and Jai Reyes were like your vets, diba? They would take you under their wing, diba?
Yes.
Show you the ropes. Pero, in a Coach Norman Black practice, who would give you hell in practice? Like, he would literally pick on you in practice.
Eman was... I always had a hard time against Eman kasi he was faster, he was stronger, and at that time he was smarter than me, so he would always outsmart me. I literally couldn't score against him.
Wow.
Honestly.
All 5'6" of Eman Monfort would give Wami Tiongson hell.
I think the whole UAAP
He
had the
was
problem.
giving me hell. He
Yeah,
was
I think
definitely giving me a hard time, and at the same time I learned a lot from him.
Grabe.
he gave the UAAP hell when he was playing. His defense was also
Like,
really good.
you saw how RR bled for his points, and at the time he was the MVP too. So paano ba ako? Bench player lang ako, di ba?
True. Pero eto no, Wami, I want to ask you about this kasi of course you grew up under the Coach Norman system here in Ateneo. Pero what and you've played with dozens of PBA players from all over the country, from UAAP schools, NCAA schools, whatever schools they came from, no? Pero this is not to belittle NCAA schools or other UAP schools, pero what makes a player bred under the Blue Eagle program carve out a successful career in the pros? Kasi, Mookie, parang napapansin ko, pag Ateneo player, you don't have to be like a mythical 5 selection to succeed in the pros. Like, even guys like Wami, even Tonino Gonzaga and Nico Salvar carving out good careers in free x free. Diba?
Yeah.
Respect to them. Like, even Justin Chua, he's been playing there for like over a decade now. Like, for you, Wami, what makes an Ateneo player, regardless of his position in the lineup, makes him as a successful pro? Diba?
You know what? Honestly, I have to disagree with you. The NCAA players usually strive. They get better in the PBA. Kasi in the PBA, it's not as systematic as the UAP. In the UAP, if you compare NCAA and the UAP is more systematic. NCAA is more. It's faster. It's a faster game. They rely more on skill and talent, and in the PBA it's medyo similar. If you watch the PBA, diba? It's not very systematic anymore. So if you see guys like Scotty, you see guys like
CJ
Perez, exactly. Sina Halalon. They win more. They win more in the PBA. And then us UAP players, usually we have to get our feet wet pa when we get to the PBA. Parang there's a lot more adjustment coming in kasi we're used to playing system ball. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, kasi diba in the PBA, it's more isolation, it's more pick and roll. It's rare that it's rare na for teams it's systematic unless you're playing for Ginebra. And even with TNT, we know their system is dribble drive, which relies more on skill and talent.
That's an interesting take, I mean, I never thought about it that way. Na parang, kasi, syempre, diba, if you're playing under blue blood programs like us, De La Salle, ganyan, parang, you have to fall in line and, diba, and literally find your piece in that system for you to succeed, diba?
Yeah.
You're not, like, Wami, tama ba? What you're saying is parang, in an NCAA type, and a player led who's playing an NCAA type of system, parang it allows more freewheeling, it allows more room
exactly. There's more freedom. So in the PBA, there's more freedom also. Parang you rely really. That's why they're more successful, to be honest. NCAA players, they when they get to the PBA, they get more success as compared to UAP players.
But what did you pick up about? In learning under Coach Norman, what?
Just kasi I would always tell this, like Coach Norman before every season he would tell us our roles, and in order for you to play you have to be a star in your role. And ako, when I started playing in my 4th year, he told me, because he knows I like to score, like I'm a scoring guard, like I'm naturally a 2 guard, and he told me, well, Wami, you're the point guard right now. You'll be the starting point guard, and you have guys. I had guys like Kiefer, Ryan Buenafe, Nico Salva, Greg Slaughter, and then off the bench, Justin Chua. So he told me, Wami, I know you love to score. I know you like to score. I know that's where you get your confidence. But in the first 3 quarters, I want you to set up your teammates. I want them to reach their quota. So when it comes to the 4th quarter, when they've gotten their scoring averages, hindi na sila naghahabol sa scoring nila. And that's when he told me you can go use your pick and roll. That's when you can be more aggressive. You can find your spot, take your shots. So it's more of like being a star in your role, because not everyone can be a superstar naman. There's only 1-2 superstars in every team.
Yeah.
So it's more of like understanding your role, accepting your role, and being a star in it.
Right. Sige, Book, you were gonna ask something.
No, I was just gonna say, I think, relating to what you said, Wami, I think the best example of, for better or for worse, of like NCAA players like translating perfectly to the PBA is, I think, Calvin Abueva. Because you see how dominant he was.
Love him or hate him.
Love him or hate him, for better or for worse. You see how dominant he was in San Sebastian during his time there, and then immediately in the PBA, making an impact right away, starting for championships, playing, playoff minutes all the time. And then even until now, right? Like if he's getting older in age, he's still helping Magnolia, he's still helping that veteran team win. So that was just something I related to what you were saying too.
Yeah. Kasi it's easier for them to translate it in the PBA kasi that's what it's what they do ever since college eh. If as compared to UAP players, UAP teams, unless if you say like FEU kasi plays a lot of free will a lot of freedom. So sina Terrence, RR, they were able to succeed in the PBA early on pa lang. But if you compare like Ateneo players, like let's say sina like me personally, Nico, we struggled at the start kasi we were used to having a system in place.
Right. Wami, no, speaking of systems, so I'm sure you're well versed in Coach Norman's system. Let's take a look at the Coach Tab era.
Yeah.
Blue
Do you
Eagles.
follow the Blue Eagles now? Do you like watch?
Right now I used to follow it when during Nieto's time, Isaac's time. Now not so much.
Right. Well, especially after last year's heartbreak.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Mookie
I still watch. I'm just not very familiar.
Pero ikaw no, Wami, your observation, like how would you compare the Blue Eagles who played under Coach Norman that era under the guys who were raised under the Coach Tab era? Guys like, of course, your own teammates, si Isaac Go, even up and coming stars like Tyler Tio, even the Anton Asistios of the world.
Yeah, I think it's hard for me to compare because I didn't really honestly didn't play under Coach Tab, so I'm basing it off of what Isaac would say. Kasi Isaac is my teammate right now, so we would always have that conversation how it was like playing under Coach Tab. I could only tell you the similarities. Like everyone had the role. It's more I guess the slight difference lang with Coach Tab is you can break his place if depending on what the defense is doing. Kasi with Coach Norman we're more like robots eh. Like everything systematic. Everyone like every play has to be followed up until the last option. And it's not a bad thing, diba? I mean, it really depends kasi on the coach. But I think with Coach Tab, which Isaac told me lang naman is you can break his place.
Right. Well, that sounds good to me because it reminds me of my Spurs, doesn't it, Mookie?
Yeah.
Following everything down
Yeah.
to the detail. Diba? That's how...
Yeah, up until the last option.
Right.
And that's how Coach Norman was.
I mean, the important thing was winning, and with that system,
At the end of the day, whatever the system was, as long as you're winning, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. So, diba, of course, si Wami experienced a lot of winning with Ateneo in the UAP. And then, here comes 2014. Blackwater picks you number 12 overall. The first ever pick, by the way, of Blackwater.
Franchise.
Diba? First ever franchise pick of Blackwater. Pero this was yung Wami, ito yung sinasabi mo na your career kind of went through a rough patch because you were sent down to the D-League. So you ended up with Blue Star, Ama.
Yeah.
Pero, like, most players see kasi, I'm going down to the D-League, I'm going down to MPBL or PSL or whatever league. As bagsak yung kumpiyansa ko. Kasi I'm not in the big show anymore. Pero, what did that teach you about, okay, I have to rebuild my game. I have to come back stronger than I ever was?
Honestly, I had so much fun playing the D-League because my creativity, my confidence came back. I was scoring, and to me that was very important. Na I was able to find my creativity again. Kasi I kind of lost it because not to ano naman. It's because like I said back in college, I had to play a role. I was in a system, a perfect system that was winning. So I couldn't go off course. So now I didn't, and like I said in the PBA, you kind of have to have the talent and the skill when you want to compete in the PBA kasi that's how basketball is played in the PBA, and I was able to regain that when I played in the D League.
Right.
So I was very happy for the opportunity. Like I was just having fun basically. I was just playing basketball, honestly. It's the it's like just what we talked about earlier. No pressure, just
Yeah.
enjoying, having fun. There's no money involved. It's just all pure basketball.
Yeah.
You were also able to go back to what you were saying a while ago, yung scoring guard, yung pagka-scoring guard mo. Like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that really helped your confidence na, in the D League, you had the ball more often. That means you could create for yourself, and at the same time, you could dish to others also when the
Yeah.
time came. So, yeah.
I had more opportunities basically.
Mhm.
Right. And then your second chance to come back up to the PBA came with Coach Yeng and NLEX, of course, diba? Which for you, siguro that was like a huge blessing at that time. No.
Definitely, because I'm not sure if you guys know, I was honestly about to quit basketball na.
Totally.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally. I was gonna choose a different profession. I was planning to go enroll myself to a flying school, but then it was my mom who really stopped me and said, give it one more shot. Maybe this chance would make you get back to the PBA, because it's very rare that you get back to the PBA coming from the D League.
Yeah.
And I was I got lucky and blessed that it was Coach Cheng who chose me.
Yeah. Parang correct me if I'm wrong, no, Mami. Parang most people think of coaching, tyrant to, disciplinarian to, general, diba, who wants it this way.
Yeah.
Pero Coach Yeng, if you're given the opportunity, like, that's a sure sign that he trusts you with something.
Yeah.
Diba? Ganun siya no?
Yeah, he if he gets you, he knows he knows that you have the talent or the skill. There are two things he hates lang kasi. First is if for lack of better term, I'm sorry, stupid.
Jeremy Cruz.
English.
Jeremy Cruz.
Because that's how he says it. Two things I hate: stupidity and lazy players.
Yun lang.
Yun lang parati niyang remind sa amin every time nagagalit siya. But what you see on TV is the exact opposite off of the court. One of the nicest people you'll ever come across.
Amazing.
You can see it in his teams too, because I think, especially now, he's coaching Rain or Shine again, young team. He tends to use most of his players in his lineup. That means, he trusts most of his guys, to play, to contribute something on the court, to not be stupid. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You saw that when he, was in Rain or Shine before with that veteran team within a game. Norwood, you saw that trust with that core. But
When
that
they
was
competed against Talk and Text.
Yeah, that was like
I
veteran
remember
core.
that.
So,
Poly,
yeah.
during Poly's time.
Right. So, Wami's back in the PBA with NLEX, and then you're traded to Terra Firma a couple of years later. And then this time, you end up as the 2021 most improved player of the league. And was this for you parang, you know what, I'm hitting my stride? Like, this is turning out to be something better than I expected. Now, I've finally kind of arrived in the big league again. Did you feel that way?
In a way, I guess, but I'm the type of person kasi that never gets satisfied. Like, I get greedy in a good way, especially when it comes to basketball. Like,
Hungry for success.
always hungry. Whatever it is, it's like I have a chip on my shoulder kasi that's why when you watch me play or when people watch me play, I'm very passionate. I'm very emotional. I play with a lot of emotions. When I play basketball because I know where I came from. I know the fact that I was always the last pick. And so that's why I'm always hungry for something. I'm always competing every day, whether it's in practice or in game. Like, if you ask Isaac, I'm trash talking him. I'm getting mad at him in practice or in the game. It comes from a place where I knew where I come from, and I don't want to come back. I don't want to fall back. I go back again to that scenario or that situation again.
True.
So and I would always remember Coach Norman's quote is, "You're only as good as your last game," and I would always apply that to myself. Na it doesn't matter if I scored 30 or 3 points. You're only people forget about that. What they will remember is your game today. So that's what I always tell myself, I guess.
Going back to that, most improved. I think one of the main reasons why you got that most improved was because of your performance during that bubble season. That's when that was really your breakout, season when we were just watching bubble action from the PBA, and then lo and behold, like Terra Firma, you were there, and then you were showing up against big teams, scoring against San Miguel, scoring against Talking Text, the bigger teams. So what did that feel like? Was that like your kind of you belong here moment, or was it just like finally you could show everyone what you could do?
I guess it's both. Kasi during that before I think our first game in the bubble was against SMB, and I kept myself in shape. I kept myself in shape. I would always work out at home. Kasi if correct me if I'm wrong, I think we played the first 3 games, and then all of a sudden they stopped the PBA because of the increasing number of the positive players would get from the swab test. So they stopped. So I didn't stop. I kept working out. I didn't need the court. I just needed the ball. I just practiced on my dribbling. So I really prepared myself. For the bubble. It honestly didn't surprise me. That's the way I performed, because like I said, I put in the work, and I just live with the results.
Right. Parang it's you can't be too concerned about the outcome. All you can control is the amount of effort and dedication that you put in, diba? Yun eh. It reminds me, this just popped into my head, Nawami. Your story kind of reminds me of a Jalen Brunson, Mookie. Get this. Villanova, like a tight ship program, diba? He's pegged into it. Can't really detach himself from it.
Yeah.
He falls way below in the draft. Like he wasn't drafted that high. And then he comes into a perfect situation like New York. And all of a sudden is now scoring almost 30 a game.
Leading New York.
Had a 60-point game. Wami, your story it's kind of mirroring Jalen Brunson in a bit, huh?
Oh, I appreciate that. I mean, it's a good comparison. I mean, that's Jalen Brunson. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Pero, okay, so eventually, Terra Firma, this is parang ito na, perfect situation for you to succeed, because as we were talking about before you went on air, you're one of 2 primary ball handlers between you and Stephen Holt, who's also averaging 22 PPG. Also played for a Jesuit high school, by the way, Stephen Holt.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He did. Ask him about it. Ask him about it, Wami.
Thank you for that. I'll definitely talk to him about it.
So, pero Wami, take us through yung trust, yung tiwala ni Coach Cardell with you guys na parang, okay, you guys are my de facto ball handlers. You orchestrate the offense. You're the playmakers. You guys run the show. Like, what's that like for you?
Man, it means a lot. It means a lot that the trust Coach John puts in me. I mean, if the coach trusts you, you work harder. You'd wanna play for him, not just for yourself, but you'd wanna play for him and for the team, knowing na coming a guy that used to be a bench player, a guy that used to be from the D League, all of a sudden, all you needed is a coach that trusts you. And I owe a lot to Coach John, to be honest. I wouldn't have won Most Improved. I wouldn't be where I am now if it weren't for him. Right.
And parang kasi the way I see it, Mook, si Iwami, sanay siya with playing with another like ball dominant guy. Like he did with Kiefer. So parang tama ba, Wami? Parang playing with Stephen Holt is okay, alam ko kung saan ako lulugar dito. Parang we know how to share the ball at the right time. Diba? We know how to pick our spots. Diba? So parang there's no like conflict between how we both play, diba?
Yeah. I mean, you also have to give credit to Stephen. Like he's one of the most, or if not the most unselfish players I've ever played with. There are times I would always remind him to turn it up pa nga, always remind him to be aggressive and not always just look for me. Because there are times he would always give me the ball, always call plays for me. I would always tell, no, hold it. call a pick and roll for you. Be aggressive. Get in rhythm, because when you're in rhythm, it helps me a lot.
Did that surprise you? Like, what was the one thing that, when he started practicing with you guys, that surprised you about, like, or even amazed you na, wow, he's really good at this,
The first thing that honestly surprised me the first time I saw him, I was like, oh, this guy is so tall. Like, I didn't expect him to be that tall.
He's
Kasi,
parang Gabe Norwood size
really
eh.
tall
He's
in
a guard,
person,
but he's
ah.
a guard, yeah.
Sorry.
He's like parang, diba tama, he's around size of Gabe Norwood. Diba?
Yeah, close and thicker. But he's literally a Division 1 built player. Yeah. So I was honestly surprised the first time I saw him and met him. Oh man, this guy is really tall.
Oh yeah.
And then you
And
mentioned...
then when I started playing against him, competing against him, I wanted to defend him because, like I said, I'm a very competitive guy. I was like, let me get Steven. And the first thing he did, blew past me. His first step was like, his first step is not a Filipino first step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's different. That's why it's so fun to play with him. At least I don't have to guard him in game.
No, man. Stephen Holt, he played for the Canton Charge in the G League. Been all over Europe, diba, before the PBA. Like, people think that his PBA is his first days of real action. No, man. The guy's been a veteran in many leagues. Diba?
And you know what? He played with LeBron James. If you check his Instagram.
He did. Wow.
He did.
Wow. I mean, diba? Like, buti na lang ako, hindi mo siya kalaban. Kalaro mo siya.
Oh, my, hindi. That's, the guys, I always have a hard time playing against guys like Sina Mikey Williams, who have an incredible first step, who have explosive first steps.
Yeah.
They're so hard to guard. You can outsmart them also.
Pero kanina no, Mookie, we were talking about the trust that si Coach Cardell has in Wami. And I think the trust and the green light was on full display because just last month, Wami hit an unbelievable free-pointer to seal the deal versus his former club, Blackwater. In your face, RK Ilagan. Down by 19 1 point. You clawed all the way back. 12.5 seconds left. Stop and pop. Drill that cold-blooded triple. Which I'm sure, Wami, that made your Lola proud. Diba? You dedicated that shot to her. So, parang, yun ba na parang, okay, Coach Cardell trusts me with this. Like, I'm so empowered na, you know what? I think I can be in these types of situations and not get nervous. Na parang I'm tasked to do this. I'm here for the big shots.
Yeah, I guess so. Also, my teammates trusted me. If you could go back to the video also, I said like give the ball to Stephen, and Stephen was like, no, give it to Wami. So the fact that my teammates trust me, my coaches trust me, it means a lot. It means a lot to me for sure, and I'm very lucky and that I actually made the shot.
I want to actually talk about this Philippine Cup season because you guys are doing pretty well. You guys are 500 right now. You came from a loss yesterday, unfortunately, but this team is a young team, PBA standard wise. So, how's the process like learning how to win? Like, yesterday that game, you guys were playing well the first half until the third quarter, and then Meralco showed their grit. Bong Quinto came out of nowhere, and then so. What are the next steps now for you guys? Because you guys are in games, you guys have the team around you, you have all the pieces. So how do you guys start to learn how to close games more consistently?
I mean, I guess in that game against Meralco and our previous game against TNT, our immaturity at the end game showed. Because like all of us were trying to do it by ourselves. If you compare us to the Meralco team, they were still moving the ball at the end game. So I guess it's trusting each other even though it's down to the final minutes now.
Yeah.
Everyone's like I personally I was at fault too. Like I was doing it by myself also, especially when Meralco was making their run. and I guess that's where the difference shows na yung winning team and us trying to be a playoff team.
Right. Kasi Wami, you guys are there, diba? You're on the path to success.
Yeah.
Kasi last conference you narrowly missed the playoffs. Parang you were in the mix, diba?
Yeah.
So parang
I guess it also boils down to the personnel. Like, to be honest, we're trying to do more with less. I
Yeah.
mean, if you compare us to teams like San Miguel, Ginebra, SMC, even the team against Meralco, man, they're stacked compared to us. But then we play with no excuses still. We work hard. All of us work hard. We all want to make the playoffs, and I think we can, and I believe that we can.
But you guys have a core, you know. You have Isaac Goy, you have Ken Marcarino, and then you have Aldrich Ramos. Your bigs, you know, those bigs will get you far in terms of guarding the more established teams' bigs. So you have that, and then you have someone like Javi Gomez Deliano, who, you know, how is he in practice? Like, how is he? How does he play? In your opinion, like during games, is he like someone you can go to for an open shot, or is he still trying to learn the PBA?
Nah, si Javi, I honestly believe he should win this year's most improved player. The way he improved this game this year as compared to last year, where he was barely even playing. Now double digits siya every game. He plays. I think he just has to improve his what do you call it? The way he thinks the game. Kasi right now it's more of rat-rat lang siya ng rat-rat, but then with his talent, his skill, his height, he can do so much more. Like, he can do so much more if he just understands the game more, I guess. But then with Javi, I love him as a teammate. I'm very close to him, actually. I sit beside him in ISA. I love competing against him. He loves to compete also. He works out every day. Like I said, we'd always trash talk also in practice. That's why I love Jav, kasi he hates to lose as well.
Right. And Mookie, you touched about the success that teams like Terra Firma, even Blackwater, even Northport, diba? Or Phoenix even. Parang ito, Wami, no, the successes of these independent clubs outside of the traditional powerhouses like your SMB or TNT, Barangay Ginebra, those teams. Parang I'm sure as US players na parang you're also enjoying na nga no, kami naman, 'di ba? Parang at least now we're getting some shine, we're getting some spotlight, 'di ba?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we work hard. We work really hard. Our team really works hard, especially during the All-Star break. Everyone was locked in still. Everyone wanted to compete. We couldn't wait to play, and that's why I personally want to win this year. I want to win this season. Like, I badly want to make the playoffs, not just for myself, but for Coach John as well, who's getting a lot of flack. My teammates also, I mean, who worked really hard. So, we'll keep working hard. We'll keep working hard, and we'll always give our best.
Right. Kaya nga, Wami, no, parang people are saying na, oh, PBA's attendance numbers are declining and that sort of thing. Pero what's something that, for you, personally, what would you tell fans na, you know what, this is what you should appreciate about us, PBA players, na parang, if you're not watching us, you're missing out on this. Diba?
Yeah, I guess that's the problem also with the fans. Not naman to be disrespectful to them, but all they see kasi are the teams who are the top teams. Obviously, they're the top teams for a reason. They have the talent, they have the Gilas players, but they should also, watch teams like Terra Firma, Northport, like you said, Phoenix, who do a lot more with less talent. Like every game for us is like a playoff game because there's uncertainty of us winning. Diba? As compared to the elite teams.
Yeah. Parang it's so parang you guys are underappreciated in a way, no?
Diba? That's how honestly I feel. That's honestly how I feel. They always say, "Oh, They always would always mention we're a farm team, this
yeah.
and that. But honestly, man, we're trying to win too.
That's
It's
true.
just
Oh.
I mean, it's just we fight I mean, if you watch all our games, it's always close. It's just we lose at the end, you know, for some reason, diba? And I mean, I hope these fans really try to understand the game more. It's not always about the highlights or the flashiness. I mean, if you know basketball, you know basketball.
That's true. That's what I was gonna say because, like, when you watch these up and coming teams, go up against each other. That's usually where the quality basketball is. Like even
Yes.
yesterday, you could see the highlights from yesterday's game. You guys were really giving it to Meralco for like the whole first half. They couldn't stop your bigs running. They couldn't stop you driving. So, you show the people who are watching what you have, and then for some reason the people always say na yun nga, like they're just waiting for the bigger teams to get these players or something like that, which
Yeah.
is not really good. But then you just have to keep on continuing to do the work, and like what you said, Sir Anthony, like the middling teams now are the ones who are with younger cores, with lesser big names. So that's really exciting because I think the PBA needs a little bit more of that, a little bit of parity.
Yeah.
It can't always be the
Yeah,
big
for
teams.
sure, for sure.
So I'm really rooting for you guys, Terra Firma, all. Like I'm really a big fan right now of Rain or Shine also, just
Yeah.
because of how young they are and how many wings they have. It's very exciting to watch.
So believe between us, Swami, between me and Mookie and the guys who are hardcore hoop heads, diba? We know, like we appreciate, true hoopers like you, diba?
Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys.
We do.
man.
So, with that being said, Mookie, of course I could never ball like Wami, diba? I could never do that. But my dream growing up was to become a GM, right? It's to become a GM, not the broadcaster, but the GM, diba? So, here
But
is
you still
my
have time. You still have time.
here's my scouting report for Wami Tiongson. I made this up, and Wami, tell me if this is accurate. So,
Okay, go ahead.
scouting report for Wami Tiongson. Off a live dribble, don't crowd him too tight. He will break you down with a hezzy, in and out dribble, or use a stutter step or crossover jab to freeze you. He has deft touch in the mid-range with a floater, but don't back off him too much or he will shoot the stop and pop free. Wami, is this accurate?
Definitely accurate, but if they're crowding me, I ask for a pick and roll for sure.
Ayun.
That's true.
They break
That's
down
true.
the big guy.
He's deadly with that
Break
too.
down the big guy, snake the big guy, and get to my
Yeah.
spot mid-range, float it or jump shot. But definitely you're right.
Ayun. So, Hinebra,
For sure.
Hinebra SMP, watch out. Wami's going for 30.
Man, I hope so. We'll see. There's more work to be done for sure.
See. Wami, kasi I know you got something to run to and diba, and we're kind of running out of time. But just to end our episode for this afternoon, no, we'll play a game named Pretender or Contender. What we'll do is I will give you the name of the team, and all you have to say is Pretender or Contender. Yun lang. And Mookie,
NBA teams, huh?
NBA teams. NBA teams. So, we won't put you on the spot with PBA teams. No.
Please.
Okay. So, Mookie, just react.
Yeah.
Okay, give your quick take. Sige, Eastern Conference muna tayo.
Okay, go.
Boston Celtics, Pretender, Contender.
Contender.
Wh-
Man.
Contender.
You're putting them as contenders?
Yeah. The Celtics?
Wait until
Celtics?
the playoffs, guys.
You think they're pretenders with their new acquisition of Drew Holiday and Porzingis?
Yeah.
I think they have a good squad.
They just
Not after the Denver meltdown, not after the Atlanta meltdown.
They're contenders in the East.
Yeah.
Hey, but they just they what do you call this? They qualified for the number one.
Yeah.
seeded
They got
team.
60 wins a while ago.
They got the home court advantage.
Yep.
Yes, they did. But I'm gonna have to digress, guys.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay,
moving
okay.
on.
Agree to disagree.
Okay, Milwaukee Bucks, Pretender, Contender.
Man, pretenders.
Okay, all right. Cleveland Cavaliers, Pretender, Contender.
Pretender.
Orlando Magic,
Pretenders. Too young.
contender for a first round exit.
For sure. Contender for first round.
New York Knicks, pretender, contender.
Ooh.
With the injuries,
compare-
ha? With the injuries.
With the injuries, who's the lefty guy again? What's his name?
Julius Randle.
Yeah, is he playing now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Wala pa.
Not yet. So if without him, the Pretenders.
Eto na. Everyone's favorite team in come playoff time. Miami Heat, pretender, contender.
Contender.
Yes, sir.
Haven't they proven enough?
I think this is the year they're not. I think this is the year they're gonna look like pretenders. That's gonna be it. That's my hot take for the day.
Oh, Mookie digresses. Like, see, Josh Hart had a quote on this na parang sabi niya, Jimmy Butler is the guy who's playing video games, ha? During the regular season, he completes all the side quests. But come playoff time, he goes to the main boss already. So, it's boss time for Jimmy Butler. He transforms into MJ in the playoffs, so contender for me.
Yeah. Actually, they have another playmaker with Rozier.
Terry
so
Rozier, yeah. That's
They
the
got
that's
better.
that's
They
the
got
X
better,
factor
for
for the Heat.
Indiana Pacers, pretender, contender.
Pretender. I still feel like they're still missing a piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Last, Philadelphia 76ers. Pretender, contender.
Pretenders. I don't. Embiid always loses in the second round. So
No, yeah, that's why.
Actually, okay. Shift things over now to the Western Conference.
okay.
Your number one Minnesota Timberwolves, pretender, contender.
Ooh, that's a good one. I love Ant, so I think they're contenders, man. Ant is different. He's different.
They're contenders. I
Even
agree.
without Karl Anthony
even
Towns.
without Karl Anthony Towns, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cat is injured nga pala, no? But still, I
But
believe.
yeah,
in
the
Ant.
Anthony
I
Edwards
still
is
believe
yeah.
in Ant. He's different. He's different.
Your defending champion, Denver Nuggets, pretender, contender.
Championship team.
Yeah.
True.
Same.
True. Ito parang barring injury or whatever,
Yeah.
like these guys have a clear shot at repeating. Denver.
Yeah, for sure.
Clear shot.
Clear shot. And for sure, another MVP season
Mhm.
for Jokic.
Yep.
Looks like it.
Okay. OKC Thunder under who
And
could
I love SGA, but
Mhm.
I feel like they're pretenders.
No.
I love SGA though, don't get me wrong, but if you watch the Lakers OKC game, the way they picked on SGA
Mhm.
on the defensive side,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and in the playoff, that's how they play basketball. So
Mhm.
Right. Maybe the youth thing might factor in.
Yep.
The inexperience
sure.
thing might factor in. Okay. Moving on. LA Clippers, pretender, contender.
man, they should be contenders, but I just can't trust their health.
True.
Yeah.
For some reason, someone always goes down on an injury.
Yeah. And diba, who's the like Kawhi recently had the knee something
Mhm.
with his knee again. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
diba, sayang.
Westbrook's injured too, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So it's up to Paul George, which I'm not banking on.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah. It's hard to trust them in the playoffs.
Okay. Just 2 games behind the Clippers, your 5th-seeded Dallas Mavericks.
Ooh, man, they're contenders with Luka and
Mhm.
Kyrie. Man, they're winners.
I have to
And the
agree.
way they play, their style of play is perfect for
Mhm.
playoff basketball.
Especially now that Luka's got his lob guys in
Yep.
Gafford and
Yeah.
Derek Lively.
Yeah, exactly.
Diba?
And the way they look for mismatches.
Yep.
Yeah. They also match up really well against Denver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. The all-offense Phoenix Suns, pretender or contender?
I'd say contender as long as they're healthy.
Just because...
Plus,
All-
you can't count out KD.
KD.
Oh, okay.
KD's KD. You
Alright.
know who he is? You remember his coach?
You know who I am. Yeah.
You know who I am?
Okay. How about this? The up-and-coming New Orleans Pelicans, pretender, contender.
Pretender.
Hmm?
They have no superstar.
All right.
And you need a superstar in the playoffs.
Sacramento Kings, pretender, contender.
Pretender. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now for the Moneyball question. Who gets in? Lakers or Warriors?
Warriors, of course, man. I'm a Warriors fan. I'm a Steph Curry fan.
Kaya pa.
Warriors all day.
With everything that has happened this season, Warriors pa rin.
Warriors pa rin. I still believe in them. I believe in Curry.
Even if Andrew Wiggins is absent 90% of the time.
He had a big game.
Yeah, he
last
showed
game.
up. He showed up against the Mavs.
He's been showing up. He's been showing up. Just inconsistent, but he's been showing up. I believe in them. I believe in Curry.
All right, so he's gonna need a lot of help from Pojemski and Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah.
Kuminga for sure, but Pojemski, I'm not so sure. Still young.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's different playoff time.
And there we have it. Pretenders and contenders with Wami Tiongson. And that does it, guys, for this episode of Radyo Katipunan Sports. Thank you so much to Teo in the booth out there. Thank you to my co-anchor, Mookie B. And most of all, thank you to Wami
so much,
Tiongson,
Wami.
PBA All-Star, baller for the Terra Firma Jeep. Wami, before we end, who do you want to give your big blue shout-out to?
Of course, to my Lola. I know she's listening to us right now in heaven. Shout out to you, Lola. We miss you and we love you.
All right. And from the Ateneo community, much love to you, Wami Tiongson. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
You guys.
Thank
One big
you.
fight. One big fight.
Yeah.
One big fight, OBF. Guys, this is Anthony saying goodbye. One big fight and see you again soon. Thank you, Wami Tiongson. Only here on Radyo Katipunan Sports. Peace, everyone. We out.
Welcome to RK Sports, where we take you right into the action with the highlights, insights, and analysis of the sports scene in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. With your hosts, Anthony Perez and Mookie Borja. Katipunan. Game on.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Checking out the latest happenings in, around, and beyond Katipunan. This is the Katipunan Roundup.